Well, take a breather from that British Grand Prix. Congratulations to Norris for winning that pretty eventful British Grand Prix. Chaos of a British Grand Prix where we have some very strange finishing positions, which we'll get into in a minute. But yeah, congratulations to Norris, obviously taking advantage of Oscar Piastri's mistake on the safety car, for slamming down the brakes, under braking on the safety car, which he can't do, which the Piastri penalty and probably cost Piastri the race win in Silverstone. But congratulations to Norris for taking advantage, especially in these tough conditions as well, making it back-to-back race wins for Norris. To close the gap to Oscar Piastri to 8 points in this amazing title race between two teammates who are battling for their first Drivers' Championship. And Oscar Piastri, he will learn from that mistake. He knows it's a mistake. As much he will make excuses and it's unfair, that's just him being a winner. That's him just being a winner, to be fair. But still plenty of twists and turns to come in this Drivers' Championship. But so far, it's all the momentum in these recent weeks have been with Lando Norris. But shout out to Nico Hulkenburg. What phase is he in? What phase is Nico Hulkenburg in? Anyone want to tell me what phase is he in? Driving for the worst car going into the season, finishing on the podium at Silverstone above Lewis Hamilton, Ferrari, who had the second quickest car going into the season. And that is quite embarrassing for Lewis Hamilton and rubs salt in the wounds of Ferrari, especially when it's a Ferrari engine as well. So, massive shout out to Nico Hulkenburg. He should enjoy every moment of that podium. Fantastic drive from him. Fantastic strategy from him as well. From 19th to 3rd place. So, fantastic from Nico Hulkenburg, who finished 3rd on the podium. Lewis Hamilton, I'm sorry, it's not a good race for Lewis Hamilton, finishing below a Sauber, in my opinion. If Hamilton would have finished on the podium, would have finished 3rd, then you can say it was probably a good race for Lewis Hamilton, because that's the bare minimum for Ferrari to finish below the quickest car this season, which is McLaren. So Hamilton finishes 4th. He obviously made a mistake in qualifying 3, didn't he? Which probably did cost him, probably being qualifying even higher around this circuit where he's had joy at. And it ends Lewis Hamilton's streak of amount of podiums at Silverstone since 2014. And he misses out to Nico Hulkenburg, who would have thought it. Max Verstappen ended up finishing 5th place. Obviously, he was in 2nd place on that safety car when Piastri was under braking. And obviously, after that safety car ended, I think it was after that one, Max Verstappen suffered a horrific spin, which put him down the places to 11th place. Obviously, but in the end, got himself back up to 5th place. In what is an untriable car now Adrian Newey has left. Obviously, Max Verstappen's now out of the title race. He will not win a 5th title in the war. But it was damaged invitations after that spin for Max Verstappen, and he still did a good drive, to be fair, in the end. Perdazzi, fantastic race from Perdazzi, who does seem to thrive being the number 1 driver at a team, doesn't he? I think he loved the conditions as well. Perdazzi played into his favour. Jan Stroll, a bit like Nico Hulkenburg, was 3rd place at one point, where he went onto the soft tyres quite early on in the race, and which was a bold shout from Jan Stroll, but it was a fantastic strategy from Jan Stroll. I still think it was a good race for Jan Stroll, as much as he did drop down places in the end. Still a good weekend for them. Good weekend for Aston Martin when Fernando Alonso had a solid race himself. Fernando Alonso will be a bit aggrieved that Jan Stroll got that strategy, not him. But Alonso had a solid race as well. So both Aston Martins then in the points. Slowly improving that car. You're probably seeing slowly Adrian Newey's work on that Aston Martin car as they prepare for next season. Alex Albon, who went unnoticed during the race, ended up finishing the points. So a good race for him. A bad race for George Russell really, because George Russell did drop down places from his qualifying position from P4 to down to 10th. Difficult conditions, albeit, but still a bad race from George Russell, but at least he's still dotting the points. This means the constructor standings look like this. McLaren 460 points, that's ridiculous by the way. That is ridiculous. That now is what, 238 points above Ferrari. That's a piss take, honestly. That is honestly a piss take. I'm very play to McLaren, because I thought with the wet conditions, with these unpredictable conditions, I thought McLaren would have struggled, to be honest with you. I thought it would have been a lot more closer with the unpredictable conditions. And obviously the masters of the wet races, the wet conditions, actually didn't do well in this race. Hamilton, Verstappen, the master of the wet races. Quite surprising that they didn't do well in these conditions, to be honest with you. Maybe this shows McLaren just that unstoppable, regardless of what the conditions are. So McLaren in first, Ferrari in second, Mercedes in third, Red Bull in fourth, Williams in fifth. Sauber move up to 6th place in the constructor standards. Who would have thought that start of the season? Racing Bull was in 7th, Aston Martin in 8th, Haas 9th, Alpine 10th. So still all tight in that battle for 6th, in my opinion. In terms of driver standards, also Piastri now has an 8-point lead over Lando Norris. Max Verstappen's in 3rd, Russell 4th, Leclerc 5th, Hamilton 6th, Antonelli 7th. Antonelli suffered a DNF in the race. Albon 8th, Hulkenburg in 9th, Esteban Ocon in 10th. So 8 points is the gap between Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris, going into halfway through the season, between two teammates fighting for the first Drivers' Championship, which is legendary stuff, people. So that is my Prix Grand Prix review. For the Prix Grand Prix. Quite a strange Prix Grand Prix with the unpredictable conditions during the race as well. Flip-flopping all the time as well. Shout out to Nico Hulkenburg, finally ending his podium curse as well. And that's well deserved as well with his recent results as well. Nico Hulkenburg and Sauber. So obviously I have done this as a video. I haven't done this on StreamYard because I have ended up leaving StreamYard now because StreamYard's just a piss take now in terms of the prices. Oh, you need to pay for extra hours. So I just done it on like a TikTok video because why not? So feel free to leave your thoughts down below on the Prix Grand Prix down below in the comments. And I'll see you all in 2 to 3 weeks time for the Belgian Grand Prix. Because it will take a couple of breaks, F1. It's going to take a couple of weeks break. And yeah, Lando Norris wins the Prix Grand Prix. Also Piastri makes a mistake by underbraking on the safety car, which costs him probably the race win. And shout out to Nico Hulkenberg, who ends his podium hurts and that's on the podium in the Sauber above Ferrari and Lewis Hamilton, which is done a rub salt in the wounds of Ferrari and Lewis Hamilton, quite embarrassing for Ferrari as well. So feel free to leave your thoughts down below in the comments, and I'll see you all for the Belgian Grand Prix preview in a couple of weeks' time.